All right, this is Mr. Wyrick. Slight change in plans. I know we were going to do test corrections today because we took the test on Friday. If you were gone on Friday and you still need to take the test, don't worry. You'll be able to do that tomorrow when I come back. I'm just out with a sick family member. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to cover this information here, which is corresponding parts in similar figures. You're going to have a quick Delta Math assignment. And then when I come back on Tuesday, we'll go through some test correction stuff and you'll be able to fix that test grade to something more approaching what you want. And we'll just kind of move on from there. So right off the bat, we're looking at these figures and we have this similarity statement and it says ABC or triangle ABC is similar to triangle ZXY. That tells us that angle A and angle Z match up, angle B and angle X match up, and angle C and angle Y match up. So these are similar figures. It's all the same angles, but the sides are just in proportion to one another. So this one has been shrunk to make this one, or this one has been expanded to make this one. Kind of like when you zoom in, zoom out on your phone. It just resizes it. It doesn't change what that shape really is. So what does it mean for us to have corresponding parts? The corresponding parts, like I already pointed out, we have the angles. Angle A and angle Z should be the same. Angle B and angle X should be the same. Angle C and angle Y should be the same. They should be congruent. That's what it says right down here. Okay. Sometimes these are rotated. Sometimes they're just put on here just like it is. But all you have to do is kind of identify and match up what goes together. So not only do the angles match up, but we need to know which sides are in proportion to which. Now, if we have a statement like this already, we can tell. Side AB, which is right here, would be the same as side ZX, which is down here. If they're triangles, sometimes that can be tough if we're just trying to eyeball it. If it's a different figure, if it's a parallelogram, sometimes that's a little bit easier. If it's just some kind of irregular shape, which we'll see some of those, it can be easier to see those match up. You can imagine what it says right here on letter C. Put the smaller shape inside of the larger figure if you need to. So imagine taking this small triangle and just fitting it inside here so it would look like we just pinched it down. And that can help you kind of visualize what matches up, okay? So again, like when it gives us the statement right here, if we don't have any of the measurements, the statement tells us what order the stuff is, okay? If we don't get given the similar figure statement, we'll talk about what you need to do. So when we're looking at this one, we can see this looks like it has just been moved up here, just slid up, and then it got a little bit bigger, okay? So we're going from figure 1 to figure 2 in this case. And it says, what's the corresponding angle to angle L? Here's angle L. So the one in the same location, angle C, appears to be the one that's the same. The corresponding side to KN, KN is right here. BE would be that. And it's important to note that the letters should be in the same order. So if they would have said NK, then what I would have wanted to do is EB. Since they said KN, I want to say BE to make sure it matches up to how it's supposed to look, okay? On the second one down, what's the corresponding angle to K? We can see we have this kind of straight up and down side and then the different angles here for K. This has been rotated and resized a little bit, similar figures. So this K should match up to angle P right here. And we can tell we go down 1/2 for this. We go up 1/2. It has that same slope. It should form the same angle. So when we talk about this side here, QO, we imagine that turned over here and it should match up to side IJ on figure 2. The last example that we'll look at here on the notes, the corresponding angle to angle N. Now this one's a little different. This one has been flipped, okay? And you can kind of tell it's been flipped, it's been moved a little bit, it's been resized, but we should see angle N right here and the width of it, how big it is. The corresponding angle, the one that looks like it forms the same kind of angle, should be angle W over here. And then when we talk about the corresponding side to LM, notice how LM is flat, it's horizontal. And flipping it is not going to change that. So this one right here, since it went from the edge back in, we want to go from the edge back in. So LM would match up to SV, and that would be our corresponding set of sides there. Your assignment is going to be in Delta Math. It's called 129 corresponding parts. I'm going to come in here and look at it. It's scheduled, so it won't show up for you for a while. But when we look at the corresponding parts of congruent figures, it's going to give you ones like this. They should be exactly the same. So you can see it's maybe been rotated, it's maybe been flipped. In this case, it has been flipped and moved over. So if we're talking about angle E up here, this little pinched one, it should be angle J that matches up to that. Got it. And then it shows that movement. And then the angle, let me see if I can get one to come up with a side. Yeah, which side here corresponds to RS? We can kind of see this transformation. If we look really hard, this is a vertical side. It's shorter than this RU. So this one is going to be the one that matches up to it. Since it says RS, we want to go with BD as our side. And again, it tells us side. It looks like a side down here with the line over the top of it. So we submit that answer and it says yes. Okay. On the second part of this, and I do want you to do both parts, we're looking at similar figures. So kind of like we had on the notes, which angle corresponds to H? That would be this one right here. I see this, especially with this longer flat side. Here's my longer flat side is like a rotation and resize. So this should be angle Q. Okay, and that's what those are going to look like for today. If you have questions, start answering those. I'll start answering those questions for you when I come back and we get some time for test corrections. All right, good luck.